Hi, I'm Matthew Wood, journalist at Africa Print and Sign Africa, and I'll be interviewing Abisha Katerere, marketing manager for Printing SA, for our Africa Print Live and Sign Africa Live platforms. So welcome, Abisha.
Thank you, Matt.
Please give a short overview of what Printing SA does.
Printing SA has been around for about 110 years, with the longest standing federation for the printing, packaging, and visual communications industry in Africa, by the way. So we basically oversee the industry in terms of advocacy and training, and mainly that's our role. So if anybody wanted to really understand like what we do, I would break it down into a sense of, we've got 4 pillars, which is we confer, we consult, we campaign, and we train. And if I can just delve deeper into that, which is the fact that like our conferring is the fact that like we organize sessions where we network with industry stalwarts as well as up and coming individuals in the industry that can give insights to our members through various business forums. So basically conferencing, but without the conference connotation, because conferencing has been done, we find it to be so boring. So we try to have a little bit of fun with it, and our sessions are always so engaging. I mean, the last time we had David Shapiro, which is a well-known economist from Sasfin Bank, and we had a full house in Johannesburg. And we're trying to bring in some more creative and insightful people into the, because we don't want it to just be like an industry talk shop, as much as we do technical sit downs. We also want to ensure that at the end of the day we energize the industry to a point where people get excited when they hear about printing and packaging and signage, as well as the fact that we are also a big lobby body in terms of all of the laws that are passed that will affect our industry. So if you talk about right now, we are fighting the Air Quality Control Act because it's looking at companies that have emissions over 20, sorry, I forget the number, but it's huge in terms of the impact of the industry. And the industry is not going to be able to sustain that law if it passes. And we fought this law in 2010. We spent over R1 million doing it, and it didn't pass. So with the new minister now, Minister Barbara Creasy, she's now put out a new gazette right now, which she's put up for public comment. We have asked for a 30-day extension, which she's granted us. So we are also appealing to the industry to engage with us, because this is something that will affect everybody within our entire sphere of being, to have an engagement with us, as well as with the Department of Environmental Affairs and Forestry and Fisheries, so that we can put forward a great argument. And at the end of the day, I suppose, we want, a law to be passed that is amicable to all parties involved. And that's our advocacy. And then I'll talk about our human resources capacity, which is all of our chambers are capacitated with consultants, and our consultants can do everything from HR to IR. They are fully qualified, industry experienced. I think, I mean, in the Cape Chamber, we've even got somebody who's been admitted to the bar. So, you know, we've got law like that can back up any situation when it comes down to fighting any sort of industry related matters or HR matters. Our commercial and technical services department is run by my colleague, Ms. Kanyin Tanzi, and that is a department that looks after all of the regulatory matters, that looks after all of the factors that, you know, our members don't see because it's not in their periphery, because they're running a business. So they don't know that, like, you know, this legislation is going to come. And when it comes, we don't want them to be shocked. So we've actually got a department that looks after and scans and looks for, you know, trade agreements. Right now, we're also working on the AFCTO, where we've asked our members to comment in terms of what are the barriers to entry into South Africa in terms of doing business for a foreign company that wants to come into our industry here. And what are the parameters do you want to set when that happens? As well as what are the barriers to entry for you as South African printers outside of South Africa? And we're talking about trade in terms of the entire ecosystem of the AU, if you want to call it that. So, you know, we are fighting on that front as well. And then obviously our big trump is our training and development is huge. And it's so huge that the FPNM CETA is one of our greatest supporters. And the FPNM CETA has provided us with grant funding to run a plethora of courses. Remember, we're the only training institution, reputable, accredited training institution, might I add, in South Africa and in Africa, such that we've even got a newly founded body in Nigeria, which is called the Chartered Institute of Professional Printers. They want to come to South Africa and get the blueprint from us as Printing of South Africa in order for them to replicate our model there, because it's been legislated there now that they need to have a body like ours. It's so important also to note that, like, we are the custodians of imprint, and imprint is legislated act that makes sure that printers have to tell their clients, or their clients need to tell their printers, that every single product needs to have a stamp to show where the goods were printed. It's something that a lot of people don't abide by, but it's legislatively been enacted by the Minister of Home Affairs. And it's a complete, I don't know how to put it. It's like, you know, when you look at a Coke can, does it tell you where it was printed? You don't ever look at that. But whenever you have a grievance with the product, you will need to know and trace back to where it came from. And not only that is the fact that, look, we have built such a prolific website, and our website has got a members portal now. And we've taken this off of our affiliation with FESPA, and FESPA being our international association, which has got 32 other bodies around the world. And we are FESPA Africa, basically. And what we've done is we've created a members portal where members can get resources such as research reports, such as templates for credit applications, for employment contracts, for a plethora of things. they can get our logo to endorse themselves as being a proud member of Printing SA, which is a legitimate body in the industry. Amongst other things, we've built a jobs portal where, we realized like during this time of COVID, a lot of our members, well, not a lot, but like some of them were going through Section 189. So, some employees were being retrenched. So we created a portal on our website where those employees can upload their CVs free of charge, so that if any one of our members is looking for somebody with the expertise, can literally go onto their portal and they can sift through CVs and find a candidate without paying the exorbitant fees that the recruitment agencies would charge normally. So I think, that's our international affiliation I mentioned with FESPA. It gives our members exposure to the latest trends that are happening internationally, the latest advice. They also give us access to suppliers of machinery that, our members can, get preferential rates because they are members of Printing SA, inadvertently being members of FESPA. And lastly, I would say this, we are also the custodian of Print Secure. So Print Secure is the accreditation body that we host that literally oversees secure printing. So when I talk of the South African Reserve Bank, when I talk of government printing works, when I talk of the IEC, these are all bodies that have come to us and are accredited by us in order for them to print ballot papers, in order for them to print money, in order for them to print checks. We also host the Check Printers Association. In order for government printing works to print examination papers, for example. So without, and I think this is a great platform, and thank you so much to you guys for hosting us. But I think it's one way that, like, people will really understand the magnitude of what Printing SA does. And Matt, I think I've covered it.
And perhaps we can talk, maybe we've discussed this already, but some of the benefits of a Printing SA membership?
Yeah, look, like I mentioned, everybody can go to an HR consultant or an HR company or a training company, but our members get the benefit of getting it at such a reduced. And when I talk reduced, you're talking probably more than 60% of what they would pay a private service provider. So all our services come at a luxury, I call it a luxury price, because it's something that you will never find in the market, but with premium service and quality, because you've got people that will fight for you at the CCMA, at arbitration, at mediation, we've got relationships with the unions, like SATU, the South African Typographical Union. We literally have no bounds in terms of where our reach is, but we do it at a price that our members would relish to utilize, because it's so subsidized, Matt. It's not funny. I can't even tell you just how ridiculous sometimes it even looks to me compared to market rates. But remember, we're here to serve our members. Our mandate is our members. So, that's what we do. And apart from our HR services, like I said, our ComTech is prolific. Right now, we've boosted our communication, hence I'm talking to you right now, which is something that Printing SA has never done before. And it's a case of we're really trying to put our brand out there. We're trying to make sure that people get to understand exactly what we do for the industry, because I think people know Printing SA, but they don't understand like what Printing SA does. And, we are trying to really be more commercial in putting our brand out there, as well as the fact that I think when we lobby at the levels that we do, if our members carry our logo, proudly Printing SA member, they will stand in good stead. I mean, we are currently advocating for the fact that all print must reside within South Africa, right? So no government department must export any print. It must reside within South Africa. So we are in talks right now with the DTI, with National Treasury. And we are trying to advocate for the fact that all printing that is done in South Africa must be certified by Printing South Africa. So you must be able to show your client that, you know what, I am giving you this quality because I have been certified as being a reputable individual or company by Printing SA. So yeah, that's, I suppose, other than that, like I mentioned before, we've given great tools for our members in terms of research. I mean, we've got the latest research right now, which we finalized in May this year in terms of the industry. So we did it in two parts. One was a industry, how do I say it, like outlook. So looking at the industry in terms of, okay, what are your processes? Is it litho, flexo, gravure, etc., etc.? How many of you are doing it? And we also looked at, skills in the industry. And then we also went to the customer. So we went to the buyers of print and we asked them questions about what are your buying behaviors? What are your buying patterns? Who are the people in your organizations that make the buying decisions? And so we've got that data, which is literally so current. There's nothing more current anywhere right now than our data. And of course, it's exclusive to our members. Hence, if you wanted to build your business up from now for the next 10 years, this research that we have done will give you so many insights. I mean, if you were thinking of buying one machine, this research will change your mind about it because it's so conclusive. And we've taken a great big sample of the environment that I've never been proud of my work than this research. It's so phenomenal. So I suppose if you say what are the benefits there, yeah, that's absolutely it. Is that's what we do for our people.
Fantastic. And does Printing SA have any exciting projects planned for the rest of the year or early 2021?
Look, for the rest of the year, yes, we do. We've got a couple of webinars coming up. We are still trying to finalize the topics, but they will be as engaging as the last, I think, 3 that we've held. The last one that we've done is on Printing SA's member benefits and services. So the next one we're hoping to do is on the Air Quality Control Act, because we need to submit by the 22nd of September our public comment as an industry to DEA. And so we want to host this one because we want our members to give input into the comment that we will present. Because remember, ultimately, we can't go to DEA without a mandate. Our mandate comes from our members. And then we've just recently gone digital in terms of our training. So we launched our color management course. I think it was in June or July, and that had a great uptake. I mean, we had people from Australia, from England, from everywhere that went on board with that. Right now, our foundational learning program, we've issued all of our learners with devices so that they can learn remotely. So that's what we're doing now. Look, for next year, we're currently working on a trade mission for FESPA and Drupa. And that trade mission is geared to take 20 SMMEs to those shows so that they can experience a different environment to what we throw here in terms of FESPA Africa, to interact and to do business with a different market, and to open their minds in terms of, like what's out there, what is the potential for growth. As well as we're going to be launching a whole bunch of new training courses next year in terms of, to rattle off the top of my head, we're going to go more digital inclined, because digital is what the future holds. So we're going to do that. And look out for, some more of our business networking sessions that we host like in all of our regions. So, we've got 4 chambers, which is our Northern Chamber, which covers from Pretoria up to Mpumalanga, Limpopo. And then we've got Central, which is Gauteng. And then we've got KZN, which covers the Eastern Cape as well. And then obviously we've got the Cape Chamber, which covers the Western Cape. So everybody in all of the regions is going to be doing something. And I think historically we've done probably about 6 events per region. Next year we're aiming to do 12 per region. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of activity at Printing SA.
And finally, Abisha, many printing and signage businesses have had to adapt during COVID-19. Do you think they will come out of this pandemic stronger than before?
It's a double-edged sword, because I believe that nobody is going to come out of COVID without any scars. It's a fact. I think everybody's taken some knocks. I mean, even us as Printing SA, we've lost some members, we've got some members. It's a pendulum. But ultimately, I think, we are here to support the industry. And if there are printers out there or the guys in signage, branding, I mean, we want to work with those people to give them access to market. So yes, I think, I'm very optimistic about the future, because if there's one thing that we've learned through COVID is that there's been a lot of fake news circulating on your WhatsApp and your Facebooks. And only real thing that is reliable is always going to be something that is on paper. I mean, we know this. We've done studies through 2 sides, which is another organization that we're affiliated to, which speaks about, how print is so relevant. I mean, you should see my blog next week, where I've got I'm going to post a paper that is from Dakar News, and it talks about how they are doing so much advocacy for reading in the Middle East, right? So I think there is definitely a bright future for our industry, no doubt. Like, I mean, you can't escape it. It's everywhere. Like Steve Tabella always used to say, like, we have one of the best hidden secrets because it's in plain sight, but nobody acknowledges it. So I'm talking about your signage people, I'm talking about your print people, your packaging people. Like, it's all stuff that's taken for granted, and yet, like, it's all stuff that is so relevant in our lives, because without it, like, where would we be?
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you joining us. Catch the latest industry content on www.africaprint.com or www.signafrica.com. Thank you very much once again, Abisha.
Thank you so much, Matt, and big ups to my team at Practical Publishing. I love you guys at Sign Africa, Africa Print.
Cheers for now.
Cheers, mate.